Hi guys, welcome back. In the last session, we have seen how to get the data based on the employee name and how to um update the employee details. Okay, by using the employee name. All these things we have done. So we'll do for the delete as well. Okay, so let's go to the employee controller. Let's go to the employee controller. Let's maximize this, not this one. Let's maximize the screen. So here in the last class we have seen the retrieving. We have seen we have seen two examples actually retrieving the employee based on the employee name and updating the employee. Like we will be passing some payload. We will be passing the employee name and the salary, and we will be based on the employee name. We will be updating the salary. So before updating the salary, we are checking whether the employee is existing in the database or not. So if it existing, then only we are updating the employee details. So the next thing what we are doing is now in this session we will be learning the how to delete the employee details which are there in the uh, IBC database, IBC Tech database. So let me open my SQL AG actually. So here we have the IBC Techno. In the IBC Techno, we have the data actually. So let me show this one. Oh, yeah. So we have employee details, the employee ID, employee name and salary. The first we have for a ID one, we have the employee name NSK and employee salaries so much. And we have ID to IAN and salaries like different. IAN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like this. So these are the three records we have. Now what I'll do is delete this third record. So which is duplicate record. I want to delete this third record. So what I'll do is I can delete the record based on the employee ID as well. So you directly pass the employee ID and delete it. Okay. So for this I'll be writing it. So we have multiple ways to delete the employee data actually. So delete by employee ID, delete by employee name and all. Okay, so let's write the code for this one to delete the employee based on the employee ID. Okay, so we'll be creating a method called delete employee emp data. Okay, so we'll be deleting the emp data. And so if you want to delete anything, so we will be using a annotation called delete mapping. So delete mapping annotation, we will be using it. And here we'll be giving the endpoint employee and we will be reading the employee ID. Employee ID will be reading it. And how to read the employee? We will be reading the employee details from the path. So what annotation we have to use? We have to use at path variable annotation. We have to use at path variable annotation. So employee ID is what type? It is an integer type. Employee ID is an integer type. So you can check here. If you are confused, you can check it. So here we have a EMP ID and its type is int only. So that's what I'm giving it over here. Okay. So here, so now we have to, as of now, let me return null for time being return null. Later we will be returning some value. Okay. So now delete employee data. So now what you have to do is inside this employee data, what you do is you will be uh, you will be using the employee services and you will be calling the delete method of employee services. So before you make a call using the employee services, let's go to the employee services interface. Let me create a separate method for deleting the employee details. So I'll say delete emp delete employee. So we will be passing the employee details here. Emp, not employee details. We'll be passing the employee ID only. Emp ID will be passing it, and we will be returning Boolean value. Okay. So if it is deleted, so it is true. If it is not deleted, it will return false. Okay. So now let me go to the employee service symbol. Let add this unimplemented method. So what is the unimplemented method we have? Delete emp is the unimplemented method. Okay. So here what we'll do is you can directly delete it by passing the employee ID or you have to fetch the employee ID fetch the employee based on the employee ID, then you can delete that employee. So there are two ways. Okay. So let's see. First way, what I'll do is I'll be deleting the employee. First, I'll fetch the employee details from the database. Then I'll delete the details. Okay. Now to fetch it, so we have a method called employee repository dot find by ID. So here you have to pass the employee ID. That's it. Okay. So this will fetch the employee details. So it will be optional of employee. Okay. And you have to pass an employee. This way also you can do it. And the other way is like you can directly pass the employee ID. You can pass that employee ID and you can delete it. So here we are checking employee dot get. Okay, here before that we need to check it, right? Is present. So if it is present, what you have to do is you have to pass that employee. You have to delete that employee by saying something like that. Let me write it over here. So I'll say employee repository, employee repository dot delete by ID. You can delete the ID. So you have to pass it employee ID. And this will return void actually. This will return void. So now what I'll do is here I'll write a simple statement. Once it is deleted, I'll write a return statement over here. Return uh, true. Return true. If we are deleting the employee, so if the employees exist, then only we can go and delete it. If there is no employee exist, we can't delete it. Okay. So here else we can say something like that. Employee details are not deleted. Here we'll cut this one. Is it over here? Okay. I'll write a simple sysout statement. SYS4 control space. So here I'll say cannot delete the employee as employee details. Cannot delete employee cause employee details already deleted. This could be a chance as well. Okay. So fine. Yeah, that's it. So now what we are doing over here is we are deleting the employee. So before deleting the employee, first we have to check whether the employee whether the employee whether the employee details exist with the given ID or not. If it exists, so it will retrieve the employee. It will retrieve the employee. Okay. If it exists, it will retrieve the employee and it will store into the container. What we are doing is we are checking with the container. If the container is having the object, okay, employee object, it will return true. So if it is returning true, we are coming inside this if condition, we are deleting the employee by using the ID, employee ID. Once it is deleted, we are returning the true statement. Okay, so which we will be giving this true boolean value back to the controller as well. So here you can check. So I'll call the employee services dot delete emp. Now you'll be passing the emp. So now whatever the result, so this delete emp will be returning the boolean value, right? So here is deleted. So now we are returning the value is deleted. And this would be a boolean. It's expecting the return type of is deleted is boolean only, na? So that's why I'm returning boolean. Okay. If refactor the code, that's fine. So now in this session, what we have did is we have written a endpoint to delete the employee based on the employee ID. Okay, we will be passing this. We will be reading the employee ID from the postman. We will be passing it to the our business class, that is employee services. Employee services will be internally connecting with repo. So it will pass the employee ID to the employee repository to delete the employee details. So before we delete the things, what we are doing is we are cross checking it. Okay, so there might be a chance of like getting exception. Why we will get exception in the sense, let's say you are trying to delete the employee ID 3, which is already deleted. Okay, at that time, if you are like if you are calling the delete by ID method, passing that employee ID 3, so the JPA repository, it will throw an exception, null pointer exception it will throw. In my case, I don't want to throw null pointer exception. First, what I'll do is I'll check the employee it is existing there or not. So if it exists, then only I'll be able to delete it. Otherwise, I'll say that cannot delete the employee because the employee it is already deleted. Okay. So now let me run the application, run as Spring Boot application. So once the Spring Boot application started, we can go to the Postman and we can test this endpoint. Let me go to the employee controller. So it is starting. Okay, it started. It took 7.26 seconds to start. Now, go to the Postman. Here, create a collection. I'll give this collection as, okay, I'll give it later. First, add a request. Unable to perform the action. Why? This one was inside this one. Let me come out of it. Able to provide and establish a connection with the server, you can add server. Okay, so instead of going this way, what I'll do is I'll go with the browser. From browser also we can delete the employee ID. HTTP colon double slash localhost colon 8080 slash first app is the context path slash employee is the endpoint, and where we will be passing the employee ID 3. Let me run this one. So it should delete the employee details. So let me come over here. Let me go to this. So in console, it should print a statement over here. See, it is retrieved actually, and it is deleting the employee. Let me go to the uh, SQL. Let me refresh this one. It is not deleting employee ID 3. Why Postman is not working? Okay. Yeah, I'll say HTTP colon double slash localhost colon 8080 slash first hyphen app slash employee slash 3. So on. So this is the delete one, right? Delete one. It's taking time. Sending the request only. We test here. It's taking more than first app employee 3. Let's send the request. Bye bye. Still it's sending the request only. Something is problem with Postman. Can I come out of this? Create a free team, building resources, team settings, and settings. Let me come out of this Postman. ID. Okay, here we have a employee ID 4. Let me delete this employee ID 4. So let me go to the Postman, delete. So here we recently we deleted the employee ID 3. Now we need to delete the employee ID 4. So let's send the request. So it is returning true. So in your console also you can see that delete from employee details table. Using this query, it is deleting it. Now let's go to the ABC Techno database in SQLite. Let's refresh this one. So XYZ is got deleted actually. Okay, so we successfully done the delete operation as well. Okay, so here let me try the other way as well. So the way which I have commented it, in that way also we can delete it. So let me comment over here this too. Alt Shift F to format the code. Now it's saved. Let's save. It's taking time. Okay, it's reloaded. Let me go here. Let me add one more entry. X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Okay. So ID employee ID 5 got created. Let me delete the 5. Let me check before deleting it. So let's refresh this one. The employee ID 5 is inserted. Now let me delete the employee ID 5. Pass the employee ID 5. Let's send the request. So you're getting the response true. Let me go to the database and let me refresh this one. So employee ID 5 got deleted. Okay. So in our case, first what we have done, we have like retrieved the employee ID details where employee ID is some so and so. Then what we did it is once it is exist, then we are deleting the employee from the employee details table. Okay. So I hope this is fine, right? So in the next session, we will be learning about the assertions. After discussing about the assertions, then we will go for the microservices. We'll complete the microservices in the next 2 days. Meanwhile, I'll be uploading the videos on the GitHub and the Git, Docker and the Kubernetes and the AWS as well. Okay, just go through those videos as well. Okay. If you don't have any doubts, we can wind up the call.